as well. All right, first question. What does real inclusivity look like in your community or movement? Not just in language, but in practice. You want to talk about it?
Real inclusivity includes, including everyone. People with disabilities, people who are different than us, people who maybe not have been born in this country, people who were born to immigrants. My family was a bunch of immigrants, so I'm down with that. But inclusivity, I'm killing myself over here. Inclusivity means not leaving anyone out at all.
Okay. Anybody else?
So I have a whole lot of lived experience in a bunch of different random weird things. Inclusivity in, I'll go with, I guess the longest one I was really marginalized. I was homeless for 10 years and also traveled the country the homeless way, which was very difficult. For the homeless community, inclusivity, they need invites, not just donations. People need to be invited to the table. And if the table's not big enough, make it bigger. Because everybody deserves a seat at the table to discuss what is their issues, what their anything, their grievances, their needs. That everybody deserves that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Gina just said. This is an awesome topic. I love this. I literally just published my book on this topic. It's available on Amazon, FYI, disclaimer. But it is titled Similarities versus Differences, Equity, Inclusiveness, and Wholeness. And to me, inclusiveness goes beyond the realm of just stretching the table and inviting somebody in, because we can invite somebody in and still not make them feel welcome. We can then put them at the table and make their voice so it's silent. We can invite them in and not make them feel a part of it. We can use their differences as a way to push them out, a way to keep them quiet, and a way to make them feel like they are different than us. And that's what I mean by inclusiveness. It's not just an open the door invitation. It's about not using our judgments to distinguish the difference between us and them, and making sure that their voice is heard at the table. They need to be more than just present. They need to be heard, inclusified in everything that we do after they're at the table. And that's what I feel like is inclusiveness to me.
And also, just real quick, we're in West Virginia. Our movement, the goal of our movement has to be to win power back in West Virginia. We have to be able to help people learn what mistakes they are making. We cannot purity test. We have to make sure that we have to give people the opportunity to become better, to learn from their mistakes.
I'm not originally from here, but West Virginia definitely opened and included me when we moved here. I've been here 18 years now, and I learned a lot of the history, the redneck, so the unions, and y'all definitely welcomed me, so thank you so much. West Virginia is definitely inclusive.
Okay, to me, inclusivity means there is no them, there is just us. And that's all there is to it.
Got something? Okay.
Homegrown proud!
We're working through it. All right. Let's talk about struggles, failure, and growth, because I think that's a difficult conversation to talk about as a human. So are there ways that you feel you've fallen short as an activist or community member? What did you learn from those experiences?
All right, so I was with Occupy Wall Street, so I know a thing or two about failure. And I remember when I was very young, being a very young activist, I made my fair share of mistakes. And so I think that part of this is going to be closing these generational gaps that we have with one another. We all have different lived experiences, and that doesn't just go for, you know, us across race, sexuality, gender, nationality lines. It also is young and old people. And we need to make sure that we are including everyone in this movement and listening to one another. Because sometimes the kids are right, and sometimes they need to listen to older folks. That is just kind of the way this goes.
Kind of along the same lines, I wish I brought my kids into this a lot sooner. I started bringing them in more. They're not with me here today though, they're working. But definitely getting in those younger generations to come in and get into this and make sure that we do get the goal.
All right, this really upsets me, but when I was 17, I was grocery shopping, not grocery, I was school shopping with my grandfather, and he saw a group of Latinos, and they were just shopping, doing what they do, just innocent, and he looked at them, and he said, "Be careful, guard your things, because they're gonna steal them from you." And I looked at them, not thinking about how I look, with just contempt. So that just, it was horrible. I hated it. I still think of it every single day. And there's not even words for it, because whenever I look in the mirror, I see my ancestors, and I'm half European American, but I look more like my Ecuadorian ancestors than my European American ancestors. And every day I try to fight a little bit more for the people who can't speak up for themselves. And that's why I'm here. See, I have my poster here which says, "We are already American."
Yeah, I know my share of failure. My first attempt to try to organize a progressive organization fell apart within a couple months. A couple years ago, as a student at Marshall, I was trying to organize a student union. Just group trying to bring together a bunch of different activist organizations on campus under one umbrella to advocate to the administration and to the government. And I failed. I burnt myself out of this so quickly. No one in the group really had the time we needed to dedicate to this. And so what I've learned is that you cannot do everything at once. You cannot drink from a fire hose of depressing news and expect to keep up enough will to fight sometimes. So it's important to moderate what content you're taking in so you're not depressing yourself too much. It's important to recognize that you can't fight every issue. Sometimes you need to take a step back and remember that some small action here and there is still better than doing nothing. It's still better than trying to do everything at once, burning yourself out until you can't accomplish your own goals. Make sure to take it in moderation, make sure to pace yourself. Try not to burn out. Find moments like this of joy and community.
So, along with Ollie, while I did not do Occupy Wall Street, I did do Occupy Indianapolis, and we actually were the only city to occupy the State House lawn with tents. But I also learned a lot about failure and co-opted movements and infighting. And that's one of the biggest things that I've had to learn is you don't have to like everybody and everybody doesn't have to like you, but we have to work together and we have to respect each other.
So I'm sitting here trying to think of what I would like to share on my personal failures. And I'll be honest, my biggest failure in life, I think, came around my active addiction. Before I came into recovery, I've been in recovery now for 8 years, and July 19th. But before that, I spent 18 years in active addiction. I lost my kids, I burnt my bridges, I burnt family members, I destroyed everything that I touched and everything around me. I lost my kids, I lost my home, and then by the grace of God, I found recovery, and since then I graduated college. I've overcome many obstacles, divorces, getting my kids back, college degrees, now running for the House of Delegates, and standing up for people without a voice, and giving back to my community as much or more than I ever took away from it. And that's what I want to do with my recovery, is give back to my community, but most importantly, those that don't have a voice, I want to give them power, and I want to be people over profit no matter what.
Guys, this is a great panel. I'm going to talk briefly about failure and then we'll move on. I think we got about 5 more minutes that we can run. So I think last 5 minutes. All right. So along the same lines of Ryan, my failure mostly revolved around 1, failing out of college, and 2, starting doing drugs. Thankfully, I made my way into recovery, but that didn't stop failure. Because every turn is a new opportunity to fail. But each failure is an opportunity to learn something new. And once you kind of get that outlook on things, the failures don't feel so bad, because even the failures, you kind of realize it wasn't that big. There's still tomorrow. All right. Do we want to do any audience questions? Any audience questions?
What's the name of the candidate again? Ryan Elkins.
Ryan Elkins, yeah.
So my name is Ryan Elkins, and I'm running for the House of Delegates in District 30, which is Lincoln County. I'm a little outside my district right now, but I go where the people need me as best I can.
Okay, before we take any more questions, I have to let you guys know, I am transgender. Our community